Welcome, the rare gems. Imagine this. You're at a party and everyone's buzzing about the latest gossip, showing off their new shoes and casually competing over who's more stressed out by their busy lives. Somewhere in the corner, leaning against the wall with a drink that's probably gone flat, is the Sigma female, completely unbothered, while everyone else is playing a game of who can care the most about stuff that barely matters. She's just observing. Maybe she's thinking about how much better her book is than this party, or wondering if she can leave without it being weird. You see, while most people get wrapped up in all the little dramas and social expectations, the Sigma female operates on a different wavelength. She's that person who's not going to pretend to care about your meticulously curated Instagram feed, or the fact that Sharon from HR bought the same handbag as you. And it's not that she's rude or aloof. She's just genuinely not interested in the noise that occupies everyone else's mind. This isn't some Hollywood trope about a tough, independent woman who's secretly soft on the inside. Nope. This is about someone who, quite honestly, finds the usual social rituals tedious and unnecessary. While others care about fitting in, being liked, or climbing some imaginary ladder, she's busy doing her own thing, usually without feeling the need to broadcast it. So what are these things that everyone else seems to obsess over, but Sigma females couldn't care less about? Strap in, because we're about to break down the unspoken rules of I don't really care and that's okay. Let's get started, rare gems. For a clearer perspective, I suggest watching the video from start to finish, and I'd be interested in hearing your feedback in the comments. Number 1. Maintaining fake friendships. Let's be honest, most of us keep at least a few friendships on life support just for the sake of appearances. You know, the ones where you send the occasional, we should totally catch up soon text, but secretly hope they don't take you up on it. It's a game of social politeness that many play, but Sigma females? They're not about that life. Sigma females have no time or energy for fake friendships. When a relationship loses its spark, they don't stick around just to keep up appearances or pad their social circle. They aren't interested in keeping up with people just because we've been friends for years, or it might be good for networking. If the connection isn't genuine, they'll quietly exit stage left, no drama required. They don't need a large group of friends to feel secure or validated. In fact, a crowded circle sounds more like a burden than a blessing. Sigma females prefer quality over quantity, like opting for a single, well-aged whiskey over a tray of cheap shots. They gravitate towards a tight, authentic crew, people they can trust who don't require constant maintenance or fake smiles. So while others are busy juggling relationships out of obligation, Sigma females are living their best lives with a close few. And honestly, they probably sleep better at night knowing they aren't wasting energy on superficial ties. Less is more, especially when it comes to friendships. Number 2. Living by timelines. In today's world, life can feel like one giant checklist. By 30, you're expected to be married. By 35, have kids. By 40, own a house with a white picket fence, all while climbing the corporate ladder at lightning speed. Society loves a good timeline, as if everyone's life should fit neatly into a prepackaged, one-size-fits-all plan. But Sigma females, they look at this so-called life timeline and toss it right out the window. For Sigma females, these imposed milestones are just societal noise. They refuse to measure their life by when they hit certain required points. Marriage by 30? Maybe, maybe not. Buying a house? Only if it suits their needs. Career milestones? They'll define success on their own terms, thank you very much. The idea that they need to accomplish something by a specific age is not just outdated to them, it's laughable. Instead, Sigma females live life at their own pace. They prioritize what feels right for them, whether that means pursuing a passion project in their 40s, traveling the world instead of settling down, or even rejecting traditional success markers altogether. They understand that life isn't a race and there's no need to keep up with anyone else. To them, the only timeline that matters is their own, one that isn't dictated by societal pressures, but by their personal goals and desires. While everyone else is anxiously ticking boxes, Sigma females are living freely on their own terms and honestly having a lot more fun doing it. Number 3. Gossip and drama. For most people, gossip and drama are like potato chips, addictive, crunchy, and completely unnecessary. Who's dating whom? Who got into a passive-aggressive email spat at work, and what celebrity said something mildly controversial last night? Many people can't resist diving headfirst into these distractions, but Sigma females? They're the ones walking right past the chips aisle with zero interest. To a Sigma female, gossip is just noise, a waste of mental energy better spent on, well, literally anything else. It's not that they're unaware of the drama swirling around them, they just don't care. Office rivalries? Please. The Sigma female is more focused on mastering a new skill, finishing her latest creative project, or let's be honest, just enjoying a peaceful day without unnecessary chaos. Celebrity scandals and trending controversies. They might roll their eyes when they see these topics flood their social media feed. It's hard for them to understand how so many people are emotionally invested in the lives of strangers when there are bigger, more fulfilling things to think about, like personal growth, solving real-world problems, or figuring out where to get the best coffee in town. To Sigma females, drama is like an annoying fly buzzing around a room. Sure, they notice it, but they're not about to waste time chasing it around when they've got more important things to focus on. While others get caught up in the latest gossip, Sigma females are off doing their own thing, unbothered and drama-free. Thank you, Rare Gems, for being a valued subscriber. Your continued support is incredibly important to us and inspires us to keep producing meaningful content. We truly appreciate your engagement and support. Number 4, fear of missing out, FOMO. For most people, FOMO is like a nagging itch. They see a party, a vacation, or even a random gathering on Instagram, and suddenly the fear kicks in. What if I'm missing out on the best night of my life? It's why people end up at events they don't care about, spending time with people they don't like just to avoid the dreaded feeling of being left out. But for Sigma females, FOMO is as irrelevant as last year's fashion trends. Sigma females don't care about missing out on social events. In fact, they often find joy in turning down invitations. They know that not every moment needs to be filled with action or surrounded by people. While others are double booking their weekends and stressing about fitting everything in, Sigma females are busy doing their own thing, whether that's working on a project, binge reading a book, or just enjoying a quiet evening at home. Their priorities are different. While FOMO addicts chase fleeting experiences to keep up appearances, Sigma females focus on their own personal growth. They know that their goals, mental peace, and self-improvement matter more than attending yet another brunch or last-minute trip to nowhere special. Missing out on events isn't a loss for them. It's often a gain because it gives them time to do things that actually matter to them. In a world obsessed with constantly being in the moment, Sigma females are happily sitting moments out knowing they're not really missing out on anything important. Number 5. Glowing up for the male gaze. In a world where the glow-up is treated like a rite of passage, the pressure to transform oneself physically, socially, and even emotionally just to gain approval is intense. Most of the time, this glow-up culture is heavily influenced by the male gaze, as if your life is a constant audition for the role of most desirable. But for Sigma females, this is where they bow out of the performance entirely. Sigma females don't wake up every day thinking about how to meet society's beauty standards or how to appeal to someone else's expectations. The whole idea of glowing up for someone, especially for men, is a non-starter. When they pursue self-improvement, it's for reasons far deeper than impressing others. It's about personal growth, feeling good in their own skin, and becoming a better version of themselves, not for validation, but for personal satisfaction. The Sigma female's glow-up isn't about external transformations alone. Sure, she may hit the gym or upgrade her wardrobe, but it's not to fit into someone's narrow idea of beauty. It's because she feels like it. She views self-improvement as an inward journey, where emotional strength, mental clarity, and personal achievement hold way more weight than how others see her. While society tries to convince everyone that their worth lies in their appearance, Sigma females reject this entirely. Their glow-up is driven by self-empowerment, and if that doesn't fit into anyone's gaze, male or otherwise, that's just fine with them. Number 6, fear of failure. For many people, failure is like a dark cloud looming overhead, something to be feared, avoided at all costs, and mourned when it inevitably strikes. It's the dreaded F word that sends shivers down spines and causes sleepless nights filled with what-ifs. But Sigma females, they look at failure and think, well, that was an interesting ride. They redefine what it means to fail and turn it into an experience rather than a sentence of doom. To Sigma females, failure is less of a dead end and more of a quirky detour. Instead of letting a setback crush their spirits, they see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. When they stumble, they don't dwell on it or wallow in self-pity. Instead, they ask themselves, what did I learn from this and how can I do better next time? It's all about perspective. While others might let one failed attempt define them, I tried and flopped, so I must be a failure. Sigma females know that one stumble doesn't define their worth or capabilities. They understand that life is a series of experiments, and sometimes the most significant breakthroughs come from what doesn't work out. So while the rest of the world clings to the idea of perfection and shudders at the thought of failing, Sigma females walk through life with a certain bravado. They embrace the lessons learned from failure, knowing it's not the end of the world. It's just another chapter in their journey. For them, failure is merely a stepping stone, and they're more than happy to keep stepping. Number 7. Following traditional gender roles. In a world that loves to box people into neatly labeled categories, traditional gender roles still hold a lot of sway. Many women feel pressured to fit into the mold of what society deems feminine, from expectations about career paths to behaviors at social gatherings. But Sigma females, they look at these labels and think, no thanks. They refuse to be pinned down by society's outdated scripts about how they should act or what they should want. Sigma females are the rebels of the gender role world. They reject the notion that they must prioritize marriage over career, or that they should embrace certain hobbies simply because they align with stereotypical femininity. If a Sigma female doesn't want to wear pink and doesn't enjoy baking, then you can bet she's not going to pretend otherwise just to fit in. Instead, she carves out her own identity, blending interests and traits that feel true to her. They're not interested in being told how to behave in relationships or what ambitions they should pursue. Instead of following the crowd, Sigma females forge their own paths, living authentically according to their values and aspirations. Want to travel solo instead of settling down? Go for it. Prefer coding to crafting? Absolutely. Their lives are shaped by personal choices rather than societal expectations. At the end of the day, Sigma females are all about freedom. Freedom to define themselves on their own terms and to embrace whatever makes them feel empowered. They're living proof that breaking free from traditional gender roles isn't just an option. It's a thrilling adventure. Number 8. Celebrating milestones like everyone else. In a culture that turns every birthday, promotion, and wedding into a grand spectacle, many people feel the pressure to celebrate milestones with a flourish. Think extravagant parties, elaborate gifts, and Instagram posts that scream, "Look at me!" However, for Sigma females, these societal milestones often feel more like obligatory events than meaningful celebrations. To them, the frenzy surrounding birthdays can seem a bit overblown. Sure, they might enjoy a quiet dinner with close friends, but the idea of throwing a huge bash just because they've survived another trip around the sun? Not so much. They're more inclined to mark their year with personal reflections than with confetti and cake. Similarly, when it comes to promotions, the collective excitement in the office can feel like a scripted play, great for some, but they'd rather acknowledge their hard work in their own way, perhaps with a personal goal-setting session or a relaxing evening with their favorite book. Weddings? That's a whole other level of societal expectation. While many revel in the planning of the perfect day, Sigma females often view the fuss and extravagance as unnecessary. They'd rather celebrate love in a way that feels genuine to them, whether that's an intimate gathering or a spontaneous adventure together. For Sigma females, milestones are personal journeys, often marked by introspection and growth rather than public celebrations. They find fulfillment in their inner achievements, and the validation of others holds little weight. In a world obsessed with appearances, they embrace the quieter, more meaningful moments, because sometimes the best celebrations happen in solitude, without the noise of the crowd. Number 9. Validation from others. In a society that seems obsessed with likes, shares, and external validation, where the number of followers can often feel like a measure of self-worth, Sigma females march to the beat of a different drum. They're the ones who can walk into a room full of people seeking praise and attention and think, "You do you, but I'm good over here." For them, external validation is about as appealing as a lukewarm cup of coffee, unnecessary and lacking in substance. While many thrive on the cheers and approval of others, Sigma females have a unique superpower: self-validation. They've mastered the art of looking inward for their worth, choosing to celebrate their own accomplishments and growth without waiting for someone else to hand out a gold star. Whether they land a new job, finish a tough project, or simply make it through a challenging week, their first instinct isn't to post about it on social media or seek out compliments. Instead, they take a moment to appreciate their own effort, knowing that their self-worth isn't contingent on the opinions of others. This self-reliance can make Sigma females feel out of place in environments where status and social standing reign supreme. They aren't interested in playing the game of who's more impressive or who has the latest accolades. They're more comfortable in spaces where authenticity thrives over competition, where real connections matter more than superficial accolades. Ultimately, Sigma females remind us that true confidence comes from within. While the world spins on a treadmill of external approval, they're busy forging their own paths, finding strength in their individuality, and living life on their own terms. In their eyes, the loudest applause is often the quiet validation they give themselves. Number 10. The soft life. Trend. In recent years, the soft life trend has taken social media by storm, promoting a lifestyle filled with plush cushions, spa days, and the occasional luxury purchase to achieve ultimate relaxation and self-care. For many, it's a ticket to a life that seems effortlessly chic, where every day feels like a mini vacation. But for Sigma females, this pursuit often feels like just another manufactured expectation designed to keep people on a hamster wheel of consumerism and superficiality. While others are busy curating their soft life, complete with expensive skincare routines and brunches that cost more than a month's rent, Sigma females take a step back and think, is this really what it's all about? They don't buy into the notion that material comforts equate to true fulfillment. Instead, they value mental resilience, personal freedom, and the ability to navigate life's ups and downs without relying on external luxuries. For them, the ultimate form of self-care isn't about indulging in lavish experiences, but about cultivating a strong sense of self and mental clarity. They find joy in the simple things: a quiet day spent reading a book, a long walk in nature, or pursuing a passion project that ignites their creativity. In a world that often equates comfort with spending, Sigma females remind us that real luxury lies in emotional strength and the freedom to live authentically. While everyone else is chasing plush pillows and fancy candles, they're carving out their own paths, proving that true contentment comes from within, not from the latest trends or the fluffiest throw blankets. In a world that often feels like a chaotic circus of expectations, trends, and social obligations, Sigma females stand out as the cool kids in the back, sipping their drinks and enjoying the show without feeling the need to participate. While everyone else is busy chasing after milestones, curating their social media presence, and stressing over the latest gossip, Sigma females are doing their own thing, unapologetically. They've mastered the art of living authentically, rejecting the noise that defines what success or happiness should look like. Whether it's about failing spectacularly and learning from it, or choosing to skip the obligatory birthday bash for a solo adventure, Sigma females remind us that life doesn't have to fit into a mold. They're all about personal growth over public validation, embracing their quirks instead of conforming to societal norms. So, the next time you find yourself fretting over what others think, remember the Sigma female who's content in her own skin, thriving on her terms. She's the one who knows that true fulfillment doesn't come from fitting in, but from standing out, on her own unique path. And honestly, while everyone else is running in circles trying to keep up, she's probably already enjoying the view from a quiet corner, laughing at the chaos of it all. Because at the end of the day, she knows that life is too short to care about things that don't genuinely matter. Thank you, Rare Gems, for tuning in. Stay vigilant as always. See you in our next video. God bless you.